Your cat has been trying to reach you. Not with a bark, not with a whine, not with anything loud enough to make you stop and pay attention. With stillness, with a slow blink from across the room, with the weight of their body pressed against yours at 2 in the morning when the house is quiet and they think you are asleep. And if you have never understood what those moments actually mean, this video is going to change that permanently. Most cat owners believe they are doing enough. They fill the bowl, they clean the litter, they let the cat sit on their lap when the cat feels like it, and they mistake tolerance for love and proximity for connection. They are not the same thing, and your cat knows the difference, even if you never have. Stay until the end, because the last point is the one that will make you see every quiet moment with your cat in a different way. Welcome to Feline Mind. If you love your cat and want to truly understand them, subscribe right now. Let's get into it. Here is something almost nobody in the cat world talks about openly. And it sounds so simple that most people will keep scrolling. But if you only take one thing from this entire video, let it be this. Every time you reach for your cat before they reach for you, you are communicating something they never forget. Cats are not dogs. That is not an insult to either animal. It is a biological reality that changes how you show up. Dogs evolved over 15,000 years to actively seek human approval. Their neurological reward system is oriented around your response to them. Cats did not evolve that way. They chose domestication on their own terms. They came closer to humans not because they needed to, but because at some point the arrangement worked for them too. That distinction matters more than most owners ever realize. A cat's autonomy is not a personality quirk. It is the foundation of their psychological safety. When a cat feels in control, their nervous system stays regulated. When that control is taken away, even lovingly, something shifts underneath the surface that most owners never see. A study found that interactions initiated by the cat lasted longer and resulted in lower stress indicators than those initiated by humans. The cats were more relaxed, more engaged, and more likely to seek further contact afterward. Read that again. When you let your cat come to you, they stay longer and come back more. When you reach for them first, you get the opposite. A shortened interaction, a cat who pulls away. Over time, a cat stops approaching altogether because they have learned that your presence means losing control. So what does this look like in practice? It means you sit down and you wait. You let them decide. You extend one finger low to the ground and let them sniff it before you ever lift your hand. You read their body and you follow their lead. When they walk away, you let them go without calling them back. Because a cat who always has the option to leave and keeps choosing to stay is a cat who is genuinely choosing you. That choice, made freely every single day, is worth more than any forced cuddle you could ever manufacture. Understanding what your cat is actually saying with their eyes. Your cat is talking to you right now. They have been talking to you since the day they arrived in your home. And if you have never learned their language, you have been living with someone you love in complete silence without ever knowing it. Cats are not vocally expressive by nature. In the wild, a cat who made noise was a cat who attracted predators. Silence was survival. What developed instead was one of the most sophisticated systems of nonverbal communication in the entire animal kingdom. And the center of that system is the eyes. When your cat looks at you from across the room and slowly, deliberately closes their eyes and opens them again, they are not being sleepy. They are not zoning out. They are doing something that, in the language of cats, carries enormous weight. That slow blink is a declaration of trust. In feline communication, prolonged eye contact is a threat. It is what cats do before a fight. It is how they establish dominance and signal aggression. The fact that your cat is willing to close their eyes in your presence, to voluntarily remove their ability to monitor a potential threat, means that somewhere deep in their biology, they have decided you are not a threat. A study from the University of Sussex, published in the journal Scientific Reports, confirmed what cat owners had long suspected. Cats respond positively to slow blinking from humans and are significantly more likely to approach a human who slow blinks at them than one who maintains a neutral expression. Your cat is not just receiving that signal. They are sending it back. So here is what you do tonight. Find your cat across the room. Do not stare intensely. Soften your gaze, let your eyes go slightly unfocused, and then slowly, gently close them and open them again, and then wait. If your cat slow blinks back, you just had a conversation, a real one, in their language, on their terms, and that conversation said something neither of you has ever been able to say out loud. I see you, I trust you, I am safe with you here, giving your cat vertical space and understanding why they need it. Does your cat spend time up high, on top of the refrigerator, on the highest shelf of the bookcase, on the back of the couch looking down at the room? Have you ever wondered why? Have you ever moved them down without thinking twice about it? If so, you have been removing something from your cat's life that functions less like a preference and more like a psychological necessity. Here is the biology. Cats are what ecologists call both predator and prey. Unlike dogs, who sit comfortably in the predator category, cats evolved in an environment where they hunted smaller animals and simultaneously had to avoid being hunted themselves. That dual reality is written into every cell of their nervous system. Height solves both problems at once. From an elevated position, a cat can survey their territory for prey. They can spot threats before those threats spot them. They can monitor everything happening below them, from a position of complete safety. When a cat is up high, their brain is not just comfortable. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. A study found that cats in enriched environments with adequate vertical space showed significantly lower cortisol levels and fewer stress-related behaviors than cats in environments without vertical options, even when floor space was identical. Same square footage, completely different internal experience. The difference was height. When you remove your cat from their high spot without understanding this, you are not just moving them. You are dismantling their entire sense of safety and control in that moment. And if you do it repeatedly, you teach them that the one place where their nervous system finally calms down is a place they are not allowed to stay. What your cat needs is vertical space that is genuinely theirs. Cat trees, wall-mounted shelves, cleared window ledges, the top of a wardrobe with a folded blanket. These are not luxuries. They are the difference between a cat who feels safe in their home and a cat who is always slightly on edge without you ever being able to identify why. Give your cat the high ground and then leave them there, because a cat who can see everything from above is a cat who finally feels like they belong somewhere. Playing with your cat like the hunt actually matters. When was the last time you genuinely played with your cat? Not dangling a toy half-heartedly while you watched television. Not rolling a ball in their general direction and going back to your phone. Actually played. Fully present. Making the game feel real. Because there is a difference between giving your cat something to bat at and actually fulfilling what they are made of. And that difference is why many indoor cats develop anxiety, aggression, and a specific kind of understimulation, depression. It looks from the outside like laziness, but it is something far more serious underneath. Cats are obligate predators. That is not a behavioral description. It is a biological classification. Every cat, regardless of breed or size, regardless of how many years they have lived in a comfortable home with a full food bowl, carries a complete predatory sequence hardwired into their nervous system. That sequence has a specific shape: search, stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill, consume, in the wild. A cat might go through that sequence dozens of times a day. In your home, if you are not actively creating opportunities for it, that sequence never completes. And an instinct that never gets to complete itself does not disappear. It turns inward. It becomes frustration, hyperactivity, aggression, or the hollow stillness of an animal who has given up trying. Research found that cats in structured play sessions showed significantly lower rates of redirected aggression and anxiety. Available toys alone are not enough. Your presence is the variable that changes everything. So what does real play look like? The toy moves like prey moves, slow at first, irregular, unpredictable. It disappears behind a cushion and reappears somewhere unexpected. It freezes and then darts. You build the tension slowly. You let the stalk happen. You let the pounce connect. You let your cat catch it, hold it, kick it with their back legs, and feel the full satisfaction of the kill. And then you let the game wind down gently. A few slower movements. A natural ending, because the cooldown is not optional. It tells your cat's nervous system the hunt is complete. Everything is resolved. You can rest now. This is the difference between a cat who settles peacefully and one who stays wired for hours. Play with your cat like the hunt matters, because to every part of them that is still wild, it does. Respecting your cat's need for solitude without taking it personally. Does your cat disappear for hours? Do they find a corner of the house you rarely enter and stay there? Have you ever felt a small sting of rejection when your cat walks out of the room you are sitting in? Cats are not antisocial. They are selectively social. The distinction matters enormously for how you respond to their need for space. A dog's nervous system is regulated by social connection, but a cat's nervous system works differently. Cats require periods of complete solitude to process their environment and return their internal state to baseline. Solitude for a cat is not withdrawal, it is maintenance. Cats whose owners respected alone time showed significantly lower chronic stress markers than those whose time was regularly interrupted. When your cat leaves the room, they are trusting that the home you built is safe enough for them to move through independently. So when your cat disappears, do not follow. Let them have the quiet. Let them come back on their own timeline. Because the cat who comes back freely is telling you that they keep choosing to return to where you are. Staying completely still when your cat chooses to sleep on you. Your arm falls asleep. Your phone is out of reach. You need water. You do not move. Sleep is the most vulnerable state. In the wild, where a cat chooses to sleep is a survival calculation. When your cat chooses to sleep on your body, they are making a declaration. You are the safest place they know. Your cat is not just comfortable. They are healing next to you. You are saying, I know what you gave me. I will not take it for granted. I will not move. Think back to everything we covered today. The way you let them come to you first. Teaching them that your presence always means safety. The slow blink you learned to give back, finally speaking to them in the language they were born with. The vertical space you gave them and left undisturbed, giving their ancient nervous system the one thing it needed to feel truly at home. The play sessions where you showed up fully and honored every instinct they were born with. The solitude you respected without taking personally. Understanding that a cat who leaves freely and returns freely is a cat who has chosen you with their whole self, and the stillness you held when they finally closed their eyes against you. Every single one of those things was a deposit. not into something as simple as good behavior, but into something that has no precise name in any human language. That feeling you have felt on the nights when your cat pressed close and the room went quiet and everything felt exactly right. That feeling has a source. It is built out of 100 small moments where you understood what your cat needed. Your cat cannot tell you what those moments mean. But tonight, when they find you and settle close, they will show you. And now you will know exactly what they are saying. Subscribe to Feline Mind for more ways to understand your cat. They deserve to be understood, and so do you.